Is the job more than tense rather than it was? Do employees sense more than by blood pressure rather than up? Are personnel sense encumbered by job emails about the watch? Latter information and surveys proposed down there is an growing issue. Now one industry proprietor wants some patronage to pursue his conduct and enable employees to do a 4-person's day 1 week and to select her off fully on the 5 date. Ankur Check Rest Way of Life brands business Mohabis and says he lets personnel, during cause, select wherever they job on the 4-person's days as length as they are in PIN via electronic mail or Skype. Down there is as well no tracking of work several hours. Personnel in London are anticipated to visit a monthly average meet. By giver personnel the liberty to job of household, job remotely, and organize their own several hours, the business believes employees will be happier and more than efficient. Relating to his overcarrier, Mr. Check told, I observed multiple burnouts, a 4-person's day 1 week thick felt a nature and lightweight expansion of a thought how valuable performance above period clocked. Mr. Check points to a band of statistic to behind up his reason how job could be touching the nationality's public health. These are taking into account to patients following the at first 7 days of disease lack if the physician decides their public health affects their suitability to job. The quantity of notes for neurasthenic and distress-related disorders rose a fair above 576,000 in the 2016-17 finance year to almost 620,000 in 2017-18. In response to these figures, Professor Martin Marshall, defect chairman of the King School of GPS, told, testimony shows how for largest human beings job can be advantageous for their natural and psychological public health, yet while it is the distress of job how is guideline to human beings creature ill it is about, and these figures show how the is the instance of an growing quantity of human beings. The House told how the taken into account for 57% of the full quantity of loose work days. Several 55% of respondents informed and growth in facilities such as concern and depressive amongst employees in 2017 compared in 41% the early year. Rachel Suff, of the CIPD, signed how more the threats to welfare in the contemporary job are mental quite rather than natural, and yet too few organizations are daunting morbid job practices and dealing distress. A examination found how 63% of companies responsible recognized job public health and welfare as an essential industry question, in more than rather than part of bosses' recognition the requirement to attention on preventive and not just treatment. Though so, Matthew Bringdown, head UK politics official at the CBI, recognized how patronage requirement to do more than to talk the question, help to shoot the stigmatization that yet exists and can hinder human beings of searching supporting. More knowledge and frankness on psychological disease tool how patronage are more than supporting and personnel sense authorized to search assist. Previous, distress and concern might include been hidden as workers incurred in silent and the could include been reflecting in less cases show up in the statistic. Down there are, of year, lot causes of psychological public health problems that are not related to the job. But more than rather than a year on of a main paper on psychological public health and occupation, the question has be though more than severe. Ex-HBOS President Lord Stevenson and Gender Farm, of the Mercy Reason, set out a length-term schedule by that all organizations would be furnished to hinder psychological ill public health inflicted or degraded by job. They suggested how social segment patronage should identification personnel at high hazard of distress or injury and company ordinate supporting. They told later, in October 2017, how the UK floored a considerable psychological public health problem at job. It appears to be though more than so currently.